This is the first of 2 videos where I will show you how to make this formal jacket. In this first video, I am making the pattern. As usual, we copy the base pattern onto another paper. If you like to know how to make this base pattern, check out the link on the screen now. So when you copy the front pattern, leave about 2 inches to the middle, and for the back pattern, when you copy, leave about 2 to 3 inches at the top as well. So let's start with the front pattern. So what we want to do for the front pattern is adjust the shoulder and the armhole as well. To adjust the shoulder, I am going to mark 1/2 inch from the armhole like this and draw a new shoulder line. And then extend the armhole like this. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to use a shoulder pad, so this allowance would give me that room for the shoulder pad. And then for the bottom of the armhole, I'm going to measure 1/2 inch like this, and also extend the armhole by 1/2 inch this way. So I can now draw the new one like this. So the new armhole would be like this. And I want to widen the jacket from my waist by 1 inch. So I will connect these two to make my new side line. And then for the collar, what I'm going to do is to mark 1.5 inch this way. And then I want to mark the depth of my buttonhole from the shoulder point. So I'm going to take that as 15 inches. So that comes to somewhere here. And then I'm going to mark another 1 inch this way. So now I can draw the new middle line like this, and then I'm going to make my neckline into this shape coming here, and then I can draw a direct line, straight line like this. Extend this side line in an angular shape like this. Then I want to mark the height of my jacket from my neck point. My measurement is 25 inches. And draw a horizontal line. This length here, 9 inches for me. I'm going to mark that 9 inches here as well. Which means I need to now curve the bottom line like this. Now to draw the princess line. So I'm going to take a shape like this. So first I want to draw a line like this, going through my middle dart, front dart that is, and from this line I want to mark 3.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is to now straighten the dart a little bit like this, then extend that dart. Now to make the shape from the armhole, I'm going to first measure the length of my new armhole now. So that comes to 8.9 inches. I'm going to divide that in half like this. And mark that from the top of my armhole. And then I'm going to connect that line onto the top of my dart. Now we can also mark the seam allowance inch to the side. One inch to the bottom. Half an inch from this line here. Half an inch to the neckline. And half an inch to the shoulder. Half an inch to the armhole as well. Now we cut along the seam line. And remove the dart like this. So now let's work on the back pattern. Again, similar to the front, what we want to do is to readjust our shoulder line. To do that, I'm going to measure half an inch from this end of the shoulder point this way, and then redraw the shoulder line like this. And then connect that to the armhole. And then adjust the armhole from the bottom to widen it by half an inch. And then extend by half an inch as well. To this way, and then we draw the new armhole like this. I also want to widen the waist as well by 1 inch. So I can now draw the new side line to be like this. And for the collar, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches up along the neckline. I'll check my measurements. And then measure 1.5 inches to this side along the shoulder, 1.5, and then I want to connect this point here to here in a curvy line like this. and that will form the collar from the back. Now to get the length of my jacket, I measure from my neck point 25 inches this way and draw a line. And then I can extend this side line and then I want to work on my princess line. To do that, again same as the front, we measure the length of the armhole. Nine and a half for me, and then I divide that by 2 and measure that from the top and mark it here. So now I can connect this point and the top point of my dart. Then I want to extend this one by a vertical line. So that is going to be the line that I'm going to use. I can take out the dart. I want to adjust the hem here. So measure this length and mark that same length here. So that will help me to curve this line like this. Now all we have to do is to mark the seam allowance and cut the pattern. One inch here, 1 inch to the side, half an inch to the armhole, half an inch to the shoulder and the collar as well. Now I can cut the pattern off. Now I can cut along the princess line here and then remove the dart. Now I want to do an additional design feature into my bag. I want to stick another paper and widen this end bit of my bag to give it a nice flared shape. So first let me stick this one. And then I'm going to extend it, not a whole, like an inch from here. And then I can pretty much extend this line. Like that. I do the same thing onto the other part of the pattern as well. So I don't need a huge lot, another 1 inch from this point here. So I'm going to glue the paper first. So from waist until the end. And then I want to extend that by, let's say, 1 inch. If you want more flared shape, you can go for an extra length here, but I think 1 inch would be sufficient. Again, take the same length from here to the here. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to label my pattern. So these are the two back pieces, back and back. We also have to make sure that we leave half an inch seam allowance when we cut the fabric. So just indicate that so we don't forget that from this side as well. So that is the back pattern done. This is my basic sleeve pattern. If you like to know how to make this, check out the link on the screen now. This is without the seam allowance. Important to mark the front and the back.
I have tightened the sleeve from the waist. When we stand, as you can see in the video, that our arms don't rest in a vertical position. They bend forward a little bit. So we are going to tilt the sleeve forward as well, so it sits nicely aligned to the arm without odd ripples or spiraling wrinkles.
So what I want to do now is divide the front and the back armhole length in half and mark that. The easiest way to do is, so we have done the back and the front pattern. So this is my back. Measure this half. And it is 4 3/4. So let me mark that as well from here. 4 3/4. So that's here. Measure in the front now. 4.5 from the front. So I should have 1/2. So this is my middle point here. And then we also mark from the wrist half a measurement of this. So the easiest thing to do is to fold this into the middle and make that marking there. Do the same on the other side. Fold this into the middle and mark that there. And now we are going to connect. Now I'm going to separate into 3 pieces, but before I do that, I'm going to mark the front and the back on this side as well. Now I'm going to separate the pieces. And put it like this, so the side lines come into the middle, like this. So this is going to be the bottom of the armhole, and this is the top bit. So I'm going to take another piece of paper and glue this onto that. And I'm going to do the same with the middle one. So with the front piece, so this is my front side and this is the back side. So I'm going to move the whole sleeve to tilt from the elbow 1 inch to the front. So I'm going to mark 1 inch from the middle line and connect that from the middle or from the elbow line here. So that is our new middle line. So we can forget about the other lines there. So I need an extra bit of paper in there. And then I'm going to make a perpendicular line from this line like this. and then we are going to move this line to the front as well. So mark 1 inch again. Now connect from the elbow to that point. Same here, we are going to take 1 inch in from this line. Now we can mark the seam allowance. Leave 1 inch from the wrist and half an inch from the other sides. I'm not going to worry about the seam allowance here, but I'll make a mark so I remember to leave half an inch when I cut the fabric. So let's work on the bottom part of the sleeve. So I'm going to mark a line. So this is the middle, and then we have the elbow, line like this, and then from here I am going to mark 1 inch from the front like this. And connect that from my elbow line like this. I am going to mark a line 90 degrees to this one to mark the wrist of my sleeve, and then from this line here I'm going to mark 1 inch again and connect from my elbow like this. And then you can leave half an inch seam allowance from both ends and half an inch here and cut this off. Remember to leave 1 inch seam allowance from this end. So that's pretty much the pattern done. Now we are ready to cut the fabric.
Watch how I cut and sew this jacket using the link showing on the screen. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications to watch more videos like this. See you next time.